Welcome back to Odd Loose Lines. Daniel Hibberd. I threw him under the bus just then, right as Cameron Bray is giving me a hard time. Sorry, might have got to turn that one down a bit. Might be that one. Right, go now. See, hopefully I can hear you now, Daniel. I just had to turn a few of the audios down and I threw you under the bus. Hello to you, mate.
Hello, Paul. I guess I'm here at Bendigo, about 35 minutes away from the 40 minutes away from the first race here tonight.
Right, yeah. I think I've got the audio under control. I had a little bit of feedback. You've got a touch of feedback, but looks like your reception.
We have, yeah, I understand.
That happens. Cam Bray's been giving me a hard time on social media, so hopefully he's tuned in. I've got to find one other remote, mate, to find who is tuned in and who isn't. Been a while since you've been on. That Cam Bray, he's been taking front and centre of all your spots, mate.
No, it's all right. It's been on a bit of vacation time, I guess. But the last 2 weeks I haven't had any Wednesday meetings, which is a bit different. So been a bit quieter through the Wednesdays, but here tonight and then a bit the Meadows next Wednesday as well. So an afternoon down there as well. But then obviously the regular Thursday and Friday gigs as well.
You sound like a bit of Darth Vader. Cameron and I don't know if you watched the show at Bathurst, we mucking around. I had a new podcaster. This one's not it, but we had a new podcaster and, we could do voice changes, if you like. I should have had it for you for today, so it's all good to go. We've got Stuart Turner on and Timmy White, the great bloke from New Zealand, so great to see Timmy as well. And we've got quite a few other people watching. Gerard Moloney's on there. Gerard's going to be on the show in a little while. You're not going to be here for long. It's a brief stint for you tonight because you've got Bendigo Greyhounds. Gerard's going to come on and join me. Peter Amirio, g'day to you, Pete. And where's the cricket? See, Cam Bray, he is unbelievable. Gerard's going to come on and talk about the Swan Hill Stallion tender. Closes tomorrow or Friday. Might be Friday. So he's going to come on and talk about that, plus other stuff going on in Swan Hill. Plus, hopefully, I'm hoping I'll have James Herbertson on the phone a bit later on. So we're going to change things up. Still stick to most of the regulars as well, but have a little bit of fun if we can, Daniel.
Absolutely. It's good to get good to be back on. Sounds like a pretty busy one by the sounds of it too.
No, just make it low key. Do you want to know me notes? You haven't seen me notes, so there. That's me notes. There is none. We're just gonna wing it. How have you seen the last couple of weeks? It was quite funny Friday night. I was at Shepparton doing Trot's Vision. You're at Bendigo doing the Bendigo Greyhounds. Seemed a little bit odd, but did you tune in at all to the Shepparton Trotters Cup, mate, and the good Trotters meeting they had? Bumper meeting, really.
I just saw a couple of races. I was more sort of, I guess, in a way, sort of hopeful the meeting would just keep going ahead because I'd sort of come across, well, at home we'd had a fair bit of rain through the week, and then obviously after Friday night we had Saturday and then another Sunday, including a fair bit of hail as well. So it had been really wet. On the Friday, right before about 3 minutes before the first race, there was a real heavy downpour here, and it was just heading in the direction of Shep. So I knew that it was going to be pretty wet, and it was, credit to the track staff there to get the track race fit and be able to survive all that weather, because it was pretty wet leading up to it, and then you get that heavy sort of an hour or two before the first. It certainly doesn't help the situation.
Barney done an awesome job because it was horrendous. An hour out, they got it at Shep. It was about 5 o'clock. They got one just as the camera guys were setting up, so they were late. They had to sit it out. They were only going to get drowned, so they were under a fair bit of pressure. And then at one stage, it looked like that the meeting just wasn't going to go ahead because of this track. Barney done an awesome job. It was just terrific what he was able to do.
Yeah, I think there was a few traffic issues as well getting to on the freeway coming up, so it wasn't a great either. So for him to get that meeting through and get those good, particularly those good trot races, run and won was really important. So well done to Mac and the team, the track staff in particular.
Macca sits back. He just points, and everyone was doing as they were told, and it was terrific.
He does. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He done it.
Takes the credit.
Did you tune in? Did you watch the races?
I didn't see too many. I have seen the results. I just saw the Trotters Cup result with Just Believe and getting up and winning it, and it's a really good result. Really nice horse and a good win. All cashed up and lost a number of the local running into third. So it was a good race. They've gone, and considering the weather and the track, they've still gone 2 minutes, which is pretty good time. For the Trotters around Sheffield in those conditions. But a good win by Just Believe.
No, it really was. It was a good night of racing, full stop. I mean, Egret was terrific, taking out the Aldebaran Trotters Oaks. It was a good little finish. They rolled along. Well, there was a bit of a dash up the straight in that one too. But the 2-year-old Trotters, they were just brilliant to watch. And, of course, young Jaden Barker. It's a great little story, that. I really want to highlight it because he's not from a harness family. He'd never done anything with horses. Never, ever wanted to drive. And he's just doing an awesome job, not only for Dave Miles, but more so for himself. Like, I think he's a young man that's had a few issues over the journey, and he's just doing a terrific job for himself.
Yeah, that was a good to see a full field of trotters, the 2-year-old trotters. It's early in the 2-year-old trotters as well. It was good to see a good field in that race. So sometimes that race, the Abrahams has sort of been a little bit light on entries. It's sort of always been, but sometimes been a bit of a skinny race. But it's a good one there on Friday night, and a really good win by Rocking with that. Dichotomy was good, as was Valerie Lane run third. So there's probably some good form to follow out of it. I mean, as we always say with 2-year-old trotters, particularly this time of year, it's all about manners, and if you can, your manners take you a long way. It's not until later in the season where you're starting to talk more about the times than the manners. So very key at this point in time of the season.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a really good time of the season. Greyhounds, mate. How are they tracking just at the minute?
Yeah, really well. Going really well, and Bendigo's Cup Carnival is not far away in the next couple of weeks. So we've got obviously regular meetings up until the heats of the Cup, but a big, I think it's like 7 or 8 meetings in the space of 12 or 14 days. So plenty of racing, and it caters for all grades. So it's not just the elite; you've got the Battlers Cup, which is probably one of the most hotly contested races, not just to win, but actually just to get in, because they take the best. I think it's the best 96, and they often will get double that in entries because of the class of race and the amount of prize money that's on offer. So it's not just the top end of town, but hopefully we again get to see 8 heats of the Cup. We got 8 heats here last year, and hopefully we get that again this year.
Yeah, no, I think you will. Want to highlight Troy Harley's doing a lot behind the scenes there, Daniel. Sorry, I'm leaving you swinging there for the minute, but Daniel, he's doing a lot of things behind the scenes. He wants to put it all onto the YouTube page.
I've just got to get to the phone.
He's got to get to the phone, so we better let him go for 1 second while he does that, because he's on live. But Troy Harley has got a lot of things planned as far as doing things with the I was about to hang up on him, but he might be back for the minute, so we'll just see. Oops, I killed his audio. Sorry, Daniel, I killed your audio. You there now, mate? No, you might have muted your audio, mate. Daniel, you may have muted your own audio. Well, you've gone. And I've got you back on. Oh, no, I did.
I haven't muted it.
I did. I hit a button as well. I didn't know that. I didn't know I did that as well. So, yeah. So you're just coming through a bit crackly. You won't be here for much longer because that is the racetrack. But he wants to highlight what he's doing on YouTube. We want to do a fair bit on the YouTube page, and we're going to go on live on the YouTube channel for the Bendigo Greyhounds. So it's a platform that both myself and Troy are both trying to really push out there, and we want to make sure people are aware of it. He's putting a lot of content out there now, so it's a good place to go and start watching it, and we want to really reiterate that, don't we?
Yeah, well, I've seen some of his stuff already. He's already put a thing up this is on Facebook as well, through the Bendigo page as well, with Typhoon Sammy, who broke the track record here last year in the Bendigo Cup heats, and he's obviously going to be hopefully be a major player here. So he's really getting pumping out the content in the lead up to the carnival, and he'll cover off on all the stars that are going to be here over the next few weeks.
And we'll have a bit of fun, yourself and I. We're going to be doing some stuff with him, especially a pre-cup, hopefully. The night before, give our thoughts. It won't be my thoughts, it'll be yours and Troy's thoughts on it. And then hopefully we'll be live on Cup Day, going live to the YouTube page, which is the Bendigo Greyhounds. So we want to make sure people are aware of that. Daniel, I'm conscious of the time with you. I'm conscious of that phone. The Kilmore Cup, first cup for the year, first pacing cup for the year. Great little field, isn't it?
It is. It's a good race. I mean, it's always is a good race. It's never you never get an average field in a Kilmore Cup. I mean, obviously we remember the days when it was over the stand and over the longer trip, but nonetheless it's a good night. There's obviously some good three-year-old race here on the card too. I'm just trying to quickly bring it up on my phone as well. But it's a good year. The cup itself, I sort of thought Max Delight's probably going to hold the key to the race. If he can get out and sort of lead Torrid Saint, might make it a bit interesting early on. But then you look at the couple of horses like a Supreme Dominator, Rock and Roll Doom, who was really good the other week, Beyond Delight, and then Honolulu Bay, who probably just did a bit too much work the other night. You reckon if he's coming from a second row draw with a bit of a softer trip, he could be one that runs over the top of him. And you would expect in a race like this that they're not going to. There's not going to be a cheap quarter. They're going to be going pretty solid the whole way along. So looking forward to that race on Friday night.
Dave Moran straight back onto Honolulu Bay.
Hey.
Dave Moran straight back on Honolulu Bay.
Yeah, not well. He's obviously only keeping the seat warm, but he's he's driven him before and knows what he's capable of. And look, it'd be pretty tough to come back into the driving ranks and drive a Group 2 winner straight off the bat. Would be a pretty good achievement.
It would be indeed. I was just looking at the form, and I don't ever worry about those tote odds down the side of the thing. But Bulletproof Boys, you rank outsider at $34. That's how even a field it is. Like, it's a pretty cool race, and you should always have $1 each way on Bulletproof Boy when he is those odds, because he gets you some terrific value, doesn't he?
He does. That's when he's likely to turn up. And again, like drawn 13, doesn't look great on paper, but certainly if there's speed on. And there's a few moves made. He could certainly, the right sort of trail forward, he could certainly be in the finish. So it's that sort of race. And it always often is the Kilmore Cup. It's always a competitive race, and when you're racing for 80,000, that should be.
Yeah, no, exactly, and it's a lot of fun. 3-year-old trot's an interesting race, and I know you'll be keeping a close little eye on that. Some mates from New South Wales got an interesting runner in it, but you're keeping an eye on it because your little bloke's trialling and not far off as well, mate.
Yeah, so he had one he trialled, was at 2 trials now. He had, half a trial at Maribor. I think nothing went right there. He trialled the other night at Geelong, didn't go too bad. So, we're not far away from back to the races. But, that 3-year-old trot race, the stable mate, RC Phoenix, went good in the Prince final, and he's up against a couple of those that he met there, and we've got Harry Stanford coming back as well. So it is probably one of the strongest 3-year-old trot races of the season so far. And it's the race of the 14,000, so it's good stake money. So it's certainly a race to look forward to on Friday night, as is the Reg Withers Classic. It's a really good race as well. It'll be interesting to see how Captain Ravishing goes after his really slick last quarter the other week. And if his racetrack manners have just been improved a little bit, because he would want to be sort of a bit sharp in that respect going forward with the big races ahead.
I don't think he's going to get a what was it, about a 64, 65 middle half somehow. That would be my guess. That's for sure. Mate, I will let you go. Thank you for joining me. Good luck tonight. You got a best for anyone watching Bendigo tonight?
My best, I've got the race guide here and I did mark it. It's not, unfortunately, it's not until later on the night. It's actually race 10, number 1, Arts in Puno, for Josh Duncan. It's my best of the night. It's about 260 or 270 or something like that on the fixed odds.
No worries, mate. Thank you very much for joining me. We've got to get you back on. We've got to try and get one where we can get decent audio for you as well, because you are crackly. People can understand you. We do apologise.
New computer, so that's disappointing that it's not working properly.
It's been a problem for us before, and you thought you had it fixed, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So I'll have to work that out. But anyway, we'll get there.
Mate, thank you. Thanks for joining me. Good luck tonight. Have some fun, and we'll try and catch up. What happened to the hand? Everyone's going to ask me, what happened to the hand?
Last night, we had 2 dogs at home, a Fox Terrier and a Border Collie, who often have a play fight, but last night things got rather serious and there was blood drawn. And one of them, I thought, had the other one around the neck. I put my hand down, and the next thing I was bitten pretty hard by the Border Collie. So
I'm sort of sorry.
Twice wrapped up like this.
I'm sorry I asked, but I'm glad I asked, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not. It's fine, but it's just a bit. It is a bit tender and a bit bruised, but luckily the dogs worked out their differences, and they were a bit sulky last night, but they've settled down today, thankfully.
Good as gold. All right, mate. Thank you very much for joining me. Good luck tonight at Bendigo. You said 6:25. I've got 2 minutes up my sleeve. I'm going okay. That's pretty good for me.
Right.
Thanks, Daniel.
It is. You've done well.
Daniel Hibberd there, right on cue though. He got a phone call going forward. Now, Gerard Moloney is going to join me very, very shortly as well. But tonight's show, as I said, is about having some fun. Now, I've been able to get this, so I can actually get the comments coming up down the side. So some of the people that have actually joined in, of course, Stuart Tanner always joins into to Campbell's comments. So I appreciate always Stuart's feedback, and he was involved the other day with the show that I did on my YouTube page, and Nellie Melba's actually saying there she's watching on YouTube as well as Facebook. Yeah, the audio was jumping around, Nellie, but it was actually Daniel's microphone. We've had issues with it before. He thought he had it fixed, and it's not quite as good as that. Timmy White, as I said, from New Zealand, Cambrai as well. Good to see you. And Michael House, he always comes up with random ones. I'm not sure where's the lamb. Oh, I get it. Okay, no, it's okay, Michael. Do not need you to clarify that. But well done for everyone. I do an all trotting show. It was good to see Michael got a winner there the other day on Sunday. I think at Oamaru he won the first. So well done to Michael and getting involved. And I encourage people to get involved. Honestly, there is not a lot of homework with tonight's show. It is about having fun. That's what this show is about. Looking after my sponsors, but it's not all about the sponsors. It's about harness racing and trying to drive it, and just trying to have a little bit of fun on a Wednesday night. The days are getting longer. We might have to push it back a little bit, but right at the minute we're just going to keep it going. And I'll right. I think I did. I've just got to. Right, bear with me for 1 minute. You might end up with a couple of ads going at once here, but that'll be fine.
Woodland Stud takes pride in their involvement in the industry, both on and off the track, supporting harness racing through sponsorship from grassroots to feature racing, giving breeders access to world-class stallions who go on to produce world-class racehorses, selling progeny at sales from some of Australasia's strongest families. Harness racing is our passion, and we will continue to strive for greatness. Your success is our success. Share the dream with Woodland Stud.
every stage of your horse's career, find your edge with the Barristock Racing range of feeds.
In range to the inside, final 16th, it's On a Streak who's taken the lead. On a Streak wins the Breeders' Crown in 152 and 4, a stakes record.
Inside, second outside is Soho and Tyrion. Macho Martini drops inside third. Battle continues. On a Streak is upset minded. On a Streak upsets in the William Welwood Memorial in 154 and 3.
Right, I'm back. Not 100% sure where I got to just then. Gerard Moloney, that link should be sent now. I apologise. Did not see the AU on the bottom. So hopefully Gerard will be getting that link and he will be joining me very, very shortly. And he's actually even put it on the comments there on the side. So thank you, Graham Hand. Good evening to you. Another Kiwi. Great Kiwis are in there. .G, lateness is fine. It never ever matters if people are on early or late. And did Cambrai get any white bait today? I'm not sure what he got up to today at all there, but I'll go from there. Now, I reckon I've got Gerard ready to go. I'm just going to do a couple of little things. So I'm going to actually turn his audio on first. Might be the best thing to do, Gerard. So hopefully you are there with us. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you, Paul. All good.
Very good. And I know something else, mate. You're a good man to me because you make my my audio sound properly, which, clearly I've just got a slight issue, or Daniel's got a slight issue with his microphone. So we do apologise for that. We're trying to work it out, but we went there. And sorry about the email confusion. So I didn't see the AU at the end of it. So that was what was throwing me. Firstly, welcome back to Campbell's Comments. First time on picture though, and it's good to have you back on.
Yeah, glad to be here, Paul, and thanks for the opportunity.
We're here to promote your Swan Hill Stallion tender, but effectively, firstly, how's everything going with the club? Everything going okay?
Yeah, we're all tracking pretty well. We've got the Kilmore Cup on this Friday. We've got about a month away, and we've got our Pacing Cup on, so we're really looking forward to that. And probably 2 weeks prior to that, we've got our Trotters Cup. So it's all about to happen at Swan Hill over the next month.
Separating the Trotters Cup?
Yeah, we did that last year as well, and it seemed to work pretty well, actually. Yep. So the problem we have is that the Redwood Day is 2 days after our Cup meeting, so we sometimes have trouble getting some of the trotters, so we've actually brought that forward 2 weeks, and it works well for us.
It's a smart move, and I think it was well received last year, and the warmer weather, especially here at the minute in Australia, it's a lot of people enjoy getting up there for that warmer weather a couple of times. It doesn't hurt at all.
We're hoping it's warm. It's actually nice and wet up here at the moment. It's great.
It's wet everywhere. It's wet everywhere. It's a very, very wet year. Mate, we're here to promote the Swan Hill Stallion tender, and I have got it up on screen right now. The only problem I have got here, and we will cover off on that in a sec, I am missing one horse, but you got so much support from these great sponsors that continually get back to you at Swan Hill. I've done this, I think this is the third year we've helped you promoting it. Lower Long Farms, Woodland Stud, Alabar and Trump Bloodstock. They are there every year, which is enormous.
And Aldebaran Park, yep. No, sorry. They're all, that's fine. You can change your hat. No, they're all fabulous. Look, they're really, really great to work with, and they help our club out immensely. Like all the money we raise out of this is a fundraiser for our club, and it really helps us continue on.
And effectively, they are a good way of raising funds. They get projects done for the Swan Hill Harness Racing Club in the middle, don't they?
They certainly do, and some of this money will go into our cup meeting, cup prize money and things like that. So, they're giving back to the clubs, and look, they're terrific, all terrific to deal with. Yeah,
they are indeed. Now, there's a little bit of an anomaly, and I'll actually put it back up onto the screen there for a second. But the horses in question are Propulsion, We'll just go through them in order as they are. What the Hill, another of the trotters. Century Pharaoh having his first season for Lower Long Farms. Pastor Stephen, Lower Long Farms. Vincent and Ultimate Sniper, both from Alabar, and it's great to get Vincent back again. He's been a regular on your list, that's for sure. Lather Up.
He has, yep.
Lather Up, Zycone, and Sky Valley. And Sky Valley has been there every stallion tender you've done, I believe.
I believe he has too, yeah. You might have one of the old tender forms, Paul, because the new tender form has also got Dancing in the Dark M as well.
No, I was looming up for that. I was building the excitement. I was going to. You floored me, Gerard. I had everything sorted. He's there on screen, and he is the fastest trotter ever imported in Australia, and I would imagine in New Zealand. My New Zealand counterparts might tell me differently, but yeah, he's definitely the fastest in Australia. I'm not sure about New Zealand, but there's not many fast there anyway.
Yep, he was a late entry for us, and Duncan from Elderbarron Park just jumped at the opportunity once we had a chat. So very much appreciate Elderbarron Park's extra intent on the stallion tender.
Now, anyone wants to get involved in this, I've got a couple of questions to ask you for Swan Hill in a second, and we'll get to those. But anyone wants to get involved in this, I've got your phone number. Hopefully I got it right. Underneath, 0427 329 504.
That's correct.
Get in contact with you to get involved with this stallion tender?
Yes, I'm happy to speak to anybody, or they can just Google Swan Hill Trots, and that'll bring up the website, and the stallion tender is covered in detail there, as is a stallion tender form. I'm happy to speak to anybody anytime. Yep,
and as I said, this one here, of course, is missing the one part. 70%, I believe, am I right, is 70% of the advertised price is as low as you can go?
The minimum is actually 60%, but if you're genuinely interested in getting a horse, you need to be in the 70 to 80% range to of the advertised service fee to really win one of these. So if you're low ball, you're probably going to miss out a little bit, but feel free to make an offer, and if you're the highest bidder at the end of the by 5 p.m. on Friday night, well, good luck to you.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on there with it's 30% off basically if you can get it at 70. So I mean, even 80% of the advertised price is still terrific value, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing value, and just the quality of some of these stallions. Our top two, Propulsion and What the Hill, are both sons of Muscle Hill, and both very, very quality animals. So not denigrating any of the others that are below it either, but it's amazing horses.
Alexander Hurley, she's got her tender in, and well done to getting involved. And the thing, it actually still helps the studs. It's not taking money away from the studs. It's building a relationship. If it was taken away, the 5 studs that you've had consistently with you, they wouldn't keep coming back, would they?
No. And look, some of these studs actually talk to me before I'm ready to start organising the stallion tender. They're sort of ahead of the game, and like I say, they're just fabulous people to work with. It's been terrific. Yep.
Yeah, it is indeed. Now, Charlton Harness Racing Club, which is generally Andrea O'Gorman, but it may be someone else underneath there. Will you be doing dining upstairs for your cup?
Yes, we will be. Yep.
So, what about
most definitely
Trotter's Cup as well, or just pacing?
Yes, we intend to. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Yep.
Good as gold. I'm just going to make sure.
Good question.
There's a couple of questions being fired in, but no, that's about it. But the rest have got different connotations, I think. Michael House. Do you know Michael House at all?
I do know Michael. I've met him over in New Zealand previously. So, g'day, Michael.
He does some conversations through here that have me a bit confused from time to time. And Philip Woods there from Adelaide as well, talking about the South Australian trotters. Actually, Michael's thing might be... Saw a lovely trotter. Oh, no, it was a 2-year-old trotter today. By Long Tom. World record 153 on a half-mile track. No shoes, amazing gate. Find a replay and play it, please. Can't do that, Mick, now because I'm live, but I will definitely try and find that for the trotters. So, so a world record on a half-mile track of 153. Today at Delaware, Rumble Strips. 2-year-old by Long Tom, he says, world record. So, yeah, which is pretty impressive. It's amazing how fast the trotters have got, isn't it?
It is incredible. Like I say, the trotters are really just going in leaps and bounds at the moment.
Yeah, they are indeed. Everything else for the club going good?
Yeah. We're all travelling pretty good at the moment, so we've got no complaints. I was just going through social media today, and I just noticed there's some Ultimate Sniper foals appearing on the social media scenes, and they look very, very nice types. And I'd just like to point out that we've got Ultimate Sniper in our stadium tender, so don't be put off if you haven't seen the foals. They look terrific.
And you've got to remember Ultimate Sniper, Ultimate Machete, they're full brothers, both champion horses.
Yes.
Like there's some nice bloodlines there on both the Yellow Bar horses as well with Vincent. The same thing, beautifully bred horses which go a long way.
Yep.
So
certainly with the stallion tender, I think we've sort of covered most bases with some very, very good quality stallion trotters and paces, and we sort of cover all price ranges. So there's something there for everybody.
No, there is indeed, and as I said, all those studs, well done to those guys for getting behind you, and Duncan, basically the horse isn't even here and he's already chipping in and getting involved and promoting, which is great. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Gerard,
and I'll give a cheerio to Dot G as well.
She's on, she's watching, or she was.
Yes, I saw Dot G on before, and I just I've actually got a share in a horse with Dot, and I haven't met her yet, so we will meet at some stage.
I was lucky enough to meet Dot at Melton Trials of all things in the bistro at Melton, which is was a very strange one there. Firstly, Michael Howe says hello to you, Gerard, so he says hello back. And Long Tom is a first season son of Muscle Hill. Might have a couple of those in your stallion tender, might you? What the Hill, definitely.
We have.
Yep. So, yep. Sky Valley. That's intriguing. We're all going to go and look up Long Tom very shortly.
We will.
Yeah, so yeah. All right, mate, thank you. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for using On Loose Lines in the way that it's meant to too. It's here to promote for the clubs. They can type messages in or, get involved this way as well, and we can get it sorted out. Every now and then I just forget to put AUs on the end of the emails, but I'll get it all worked out. Gerard, thank you for joining me, and good luck with the stallion tender. Closes Friday?
This Friday, 5 p.m. I'm happy to take any phone calls.
No, good as gold. Thank you very much, mate.
No worries. Thanks a lot.
With Gerard Moloney there. Gerard Moloney there from Swan Hill Harness Racing Club. Hopefully Gerard can log out because I can't at the minute. I'm trying to do too many things at once. But great stallion tender. Get involved. 0427 329 504 to get involved in that. And that is really, really good. So that's pretty cool news, Michael House. Thanks for putting that into this show. That's what this is about. The show is to raise awareness, have some fun, have a little bit of fun as well. So and get involved with some of those as well. I've got a couple other messages came through. Dot G, yes, you will meet him soon, Dot, and you're not a shy person. And that, I think Nellie Melba and a couple of the other people as well. It's great that we've been able to, I suppose, build in a relationship going forward, and having a little bit of fun with it as well. So, Rumble Strips is the name of the horse. Yep, worked that one out, Mick. Sorry about that. I took a little bit of reading and I read it on an angle, which is not always ideal. I thought this might help me, and it may, but right at the minute it's not. I've just got to do some changing to it. While we're on in America and going from there was someone else's comments, and I will get to those. The Jug is on this weekend, and my great sponsors and continued great sponsors, Woodland Stud, they have got 8 of the 11 runners in the elimination finals for the Little Brown Jug to be run Friday our time. That's pretty incredible in itself. So 8 of the 11 runners in the elimination will be running on Friday our time, Thursday in American time. So I'm sure a lot of people will be tuned into that. I asked Husey how many of those Betters Delight. Not one. Seaside, Sweet Lou, and American Ideal make up those 8. So pretty impressive little stats, and that to be run and won there. I'm hoping to get James Herbertson on. The biggest problem I've got right at the minute is I don't know how I'm going to find out what he's up to. until I sent him a message. But I needed to actually watch the races. So that's what I need to do, is go this way. I'm trying to work this out as we go. We'll get it. It is all good. Interested in people's thoughts. One on the Shepparton Cup the other night, terrific race. But also the Kilmore Cup, how quickly the Cups have come around, or how slowly they have, and what the Cup season might look like for people going forward. It's upon us very, very quickly, and we've got lots going on here. And even our New Zealand counterparts, we've got plenty of people over there in New Zealand also keen on how the Cups are starting to look for you guys on a whole over there, and also the excitement level you guys have. I know the grass tracks are starting to come up very, very shortly, and I think Cambrai is getting involved in those. He might be next weekend. I think his club will be starting that as well. Yes, the Little Brown Jug is an amazing experience. Everyone should pencil that in. That is from the Charlton Harness Racing Club, and definitely trying to put it on my bucket list. Pretty excited. Look like I'm going to be in New Zealand for not only New Zealand Cup, but the lead up to it, and hopefully maybe 10 days over there, 10 to 12 days. So I look forward to catching up with a lot of my New Zealand friends. Campbell's Comments will be over there. On Loose Lines will be over there. We'll see how we go on the Wednesday night, whether we go Wednesday night or Thursday. I think there was something on the Wednesday night, so we might have to be polite to what's going on. And for my Australian viewers, you might have to tune in a little bit earlier, because it might struggle to be going over there at that late. So race number 2 should have been run and won. I'm not sure if it has or not. Results still haven't come up, so I'm not sure if there's been a delay there before I send James Herbertson a message. He has got race number 3 spare. He doesn't have race number 4, so we might try and get hold of him. Great little effort the other day. Not sure what I did then. I do know what I did, but I don't know actually what it did. Winning the Australian Drivers' Championships, and we'll just see if I can get hold of the young man and get him on. But I think it was a terrific effort, and Philip Wood actually was that was the other mention there, and I will get to that, Philip, in a second. In regards to that, what we might do is actually do it this way. I'm just going to try and do something a little bit different, and see if I can't get hold of James this way. If we can, just got to find his name. I have rang him just earlier. This is good TV. It's not. It's meant to be fun there. Timmy White, Cam's Club race this Sunday. Thank you very much for that, Timmy. I thought it was coming up pretty soon. He might have gone to bed again already. He was in bed early last week, so we know that he does like to go to bed pretty early, young Cameron, because it can be a bit hard on him.
Unable to get to the phone at the moment.
No, he is not there at the minute, and that didn't work, but that's okay. I now know why that didn't work. So he is on a phone call, or he's not ready. I'm not sure what he's up to. I might just get him to give me a thumb up. We'll just see how he goes. But it might have been a bit of a delay, because race number 2, the results still aren't up. Biggest problem you can have sometimes is having too many mice underneath your feet, and go from there. Now, Dot, there's no need for that. Thank you very much. Results are in, so he may not be that far away. He actually has run second on the Nick Youngson trained Champers, who has run second so off your face ski for Gary Donaldson and Anthony Crosland. Took that out by Jambro, 5-year-old. Also haven't heard too much of. I'll actually tell you while I'm going here. Well, it's had 2 starts, and it's won a $10,000 race, so there might be a bit of a story to that horse, that's for sure. So, he just rang me just then, so I'm going to try him again and just see how we go, whether he answers or not. He has answered, so, he should be good to go, hopefully. So, and hopefully it's good connection, going well here at the minute. Yes, James, and you are live, so yes, behave yourself, and it'll be all good. People are giving me a hard time about what I'm saying. Firstly, welcome on Loose Lines, mate, and congratulations on winning the Australian Drivers' Championship.
Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for having me.
No, it was good. I saw there in one of the comments or one of the notes I've read on some of the stories written up that you were $4 in the market. I don't ever worry about markets too much. Did you think that you actually had a chance?
Oh, well, with those sort of series, it just comes down to luck of the draw. If you're lucky enough to get on the right horses and get the right luck in running, that's all it really comes down to. But I didn't even know there was a market for it, so I was none the wiser beforehand.
I don't necessarily believe those markets either, so don't stress too much on that. The only race I did tune in to watch, I'll be honest, was Hammer's Laws race, and it nearly set the scene for you in a way, James. You were gone around the turn, and all of a sudden you fought back. The other horse was favourite. I can't think of who the other horse was, but ended up winning quite comfortably, and it sort of probably set the scene for you for the night then after that.
Yeah, Clough Valley Chief was the other horse, Brent Lilly's horse.
Yep.
But he sort of over-raced outside of us and loomed up on the turn and that, but he'd sort of spent his pennies before top of the straight. So my bloke was able to kick back and pull away in the end. But yeah, he's a nice horse, and he'll probably come over here for a couple of the country cups, on the smaller tracks and that sort of thing. I'm thinking
he will.
I reckon so. That's what they're talking about.
Yep, cool. That's exciting. He looked like, in all seriousness, actually looked like he went pretty good.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he tried quite hard, and he ran decent time around there, and he's a track record holder around there. So he's he can handle a half-mile track pretty well.
It's one of the hard parts about these drivers' championships is missing out on drives. You missed out in the first. I think you missed out on the second last. You missed out on about 3 drives. When did you think you were a chance of winning this? Like, was it right up until that? Well, it had to be before the last race because you ran last in that, so you didn't do yourself any favours there. But was there a point through the night you thought, "Hey, I am going to win this"?
I gave me a mate a ring. He was upstairs. He came across with me, and I just asked him how I was going. He said, if you're going good enough at the moment. So that was sort of enough to spur me on to keep me earning a check. The ones that I had later on weren't really great winning hopes, but they were good enough to run sort of top 4. So that was enough to accumulate a couple of points along the way, and just push me over the line. So
you had it in the bag. You obviously had to have had it in the bag before the last, but did you know that?
After the last race, I knew I had it in the bag. Yeah, I mean after the second last. Sorry. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say there could have been frustration coming back running so mobile as last in the last of the heats.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cam needed to win the second last race, and he would have won, but he ran second. So, yeah.
I would imagine a great experience for you, mate. Not just driving against them, but also being involved with them, being there, meeting these guys. You probably knew them all, but you get to see a different side of them when you're driving race after race against them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just a really good opportunity all round. Really, the people and the horses and the trainers and the people who run the show over there as well. They got a great group of people that are in charge, and I can't really speak highly enough of any of them really. So all in all, it was a great night.
No, it was indeed. I look like I'm having a bit of internet issues all of a sudden. Wife and daughter come home, James. You know what they're doing? They're on me bloody internet, I'd say. So it'll be one of those things. I reckon I know exactly what's happening, actually. That's all right. Mate, just the other one, I do an all trotters show, and this week you let yourself down in a way here in Victoria. Anyway, you didn't get a trotting winner at all this week, but the week before you had 4, your association with nephew of Sunoco. You don't come from a trotting family, yet all of a sudden it seems to be clicking. What is it about you and the trotters that seems to be working so well, mate?
Well, I don't know. It didn't work in the second race here at Ballarat because it was $1.40 and it galloped out. But other than that, I don't know. I just sort of, I don't know. I just have a good bit of association with them, like just able to get on a few good ones, and I've always been taught to be patient with them and not push them too hard. So I don't know. It's just the way it's sort of worked out, I guess.
Joe Pace has chimed in and he said, hi, Paul and Jimmy. Harry Stamper, we talk about your association with trotters and nephew of Sunoco, but I'm sure Harry Stamper has you pretty excited, mate.
Yeah, he does. He's a very fast little horse, and he's just a little champ. We're able to go up to Sydney and win the Derby up there. It was first sort of big race that I've won going away, and first Group 1 for Joe as well. So he's a little horse that's already given us big thrills, and I'm sure there's a lot to come. His first up run here at Ballarat was super. He just did it with the plugs in, and I don't know his personal times were, but the way he did it was exceptional, really. He's just got great manners and a great gait, and he's just a very fast little horse. That's probably his main attribute, just his high speed. It's like pulling out on a pace. You just hit the go button and then he just lets down. So he's a very exciting little horse.
Hey, Plymouth Chubb, Courage Strike, do you as you're only a young man in the industry, but do you ever sort of sit there and say, well, how good are these horses? Or is it because you're in the moment, you're always just thinking about how you actually can beat these horses?
No, you're probably right in the second part there. It's just, you go out there and, as you well know, I live every day as it comes sort of thing. I don't look forward too much. So, you just got to work out on the day how you're going to beat them. There's no doubt that they're all very good young horses, but and probably in the scheme of things they are too. But at the moment they're the ones to beat, so you just got to work out a way to beat them.
It's one of those ones. I think it comes with age, Jimmy. I think, I look at it and I just say, wow, because I've seen trotters over the years, but you always probably have great battles through the years. But I look at that trot race on Friday night, and it's just It's a cracker. It's a great race card, but I still reckon it's probably nearly the race of the night on paper anyway. Whether it eventuates that way after the running of it, who knows? But on paper, to see those three horses like Plymouth Chubb, some people say he hasn't come back or he has come back. Pete Manning was telling me the other night that it was the fastest he's ever gone when he got beat at Melton. So he's definitely come back. So it's going to be a really exciting race, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt he's come back. I don't know who's saying he hasn't, but he come back without. I don't know whether he had a trial or not leading into that first up run where he was super.
He would have had to have had a trial, the new rules, because he would have had longer than 6 months out.
Yep. But he was super, and you could see how big he was. He was just sort of quite underdone, and he still put up a massive effort. So. The fitter he gets, the better he'll get, and he's still got his little quirks that he's got. He's still a bit cheeky in that and gives Kezi a bit of a hard time sometimes, but he's a champion little horse. His record speaks for himself. I don't think there's much else that really needs to be said.
No, definitely not. I just remember Chris Lang saying that every time he looked at him, he thinking, oh, he's too big, and he couldn't get near him. So he's just one of those big burly horses, which is good. James, thanks for joining me, mate. Congratulations. Really like it. I'm fortunate enough to have known you for a long time and seen your development, see you grow. The way you handle yourself, I think, is terrific. You're a credit to the industry. But congratulations, mate. Does that get you anything, James, other than, not that you'll use it this way, but bragging rights? Do you get to go to the Worlds or anything like that, or it's just you're this year's Australian driving champion?
You get considered to go to the World Championship, but I don't know what the criteria is or who's in charge of picking who goes. But you get considered, so I'm more than happy with that. But it's just an opportunity that to at least go to Adelaide and be there, let alone take it out. A lot of drivers don't get that opportunity, so I'm very lucky in that respect. But whatever it leads to, that's absolutely super. But I'm more than happy at the moment.
No, open a lot of doors for you, mate, and you never know, you might be able to travel to the world anyway and have some fun over in America and that. So, but we won't go down that path. We could talk forever. You got to drive one. I'm not going to ask you to get a winner. I hate people being asking if you can get a winner. But what do you think the chances are? Actually, a good mate of yours, Shannon Edwards, who this. I should have listened. A smile and a wink. Oh, there you go. I got it out. Has he got a little chance at all, James?
Yeah, I think so. She's come back a little bit better. I should be able to find the front and give him something to chase.
You enjoy he does. He's a good mate of yours, isn't he, Shannon? You've driven for him for a fair time.
Yeah, long time. He's been one of my smaller trainers that stuck with me from early on, and we've had our fair share of success along the way, and his horse is always thereabouts. So can't ask any more really. he's a great bloke as well. So he's got little Royal Apollo in later on as well, and I think he'll go pretty close too. He's just got him. He bought him off Daniel Hibberd, and he's sort of been able to turn him around a little bit. So he won first up for him, which was great, and gave Shannon a real buzz. So if he can run a good race, I'm sure he'll be happy.
G's just fired a question in, James, if you mind, for 2 secs. What has been your biggest achievement, and who have you learnt a lot from, and then your goals? So there's 3 questions. Biggest achievement, who have you learnt a lot from, and your goals?
The driving championship definitely is up there. I can't really pick one to be my biggest achievement. Just the winning the Group 1s, and that has been an absolute thrill. As a personal achievement, it's probably on top. But what was the second question?
Who you learnt the most from? Or learnt a lot from, not the most, but a lot from.
A lot? Well, I'd say Dad. Just the people that are close to me, and Greg Sugars as well. But yeah, mainly Dad. He's been there from the start, and he's got a great racing mind, and he just sort of pointed me in the right direction from early on, and just his guiding sort of hand has sort of ushered me in the right direction. So I'd say Dad would be the one.
I find that funny when you got so many trotters, but we won't go there with Dad. Although he has got one in work, so that's always a start. And then any goals with question marks afterwards?
I'm just happy winning races, Paulie. It doesn't really worry me whether it's a $4,500 race or a $100,000 race. I'm more than happy winning. I'm a bit of a sore loser sometimes, so as long as I keep winning, I'm happy. But. I don't know. I'd like to be able to travel and that, but that'll hopefully happen down the track at some point. Just go and learn and broaden my horizons. Not so much to drive, but just to learn and experience things. And but I'm just happy going around, really. I
must say you're getting a bit of love. Nellie Melba, great admirer of James, always gives his best regardless of the grade and the horse, which is terrific. Nellie has an association with Ross Graham's stables, so she may be a touch biased, but that's okay. She's allowed to be. But the other one we've got to give a big rap for very quickly is Joe Pace, because he really sticks by you, mate. He's got some nice horses in his stable, and it must be you don't get a lot of big stables to drive for, so someone like Joe backing you like he does must be terrific.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a very high quality little stable at the moment, and he's got a lot of horsepower there. So for him to be able to stick by me as he has, as you just said, as long as I get the results for him, keep him happy. That's the main thing, I guess.
Have you got a hat for him? Have you got a James Herbertson hat? Every time I see him, he wants one of the new hats.
One of your hats?
Any hat. He's a hat. He just loves his hats.
Well, he's got to cover something up, I guess.
Yeah, we don't go there, mate. Don't throw rocks at blokes that are follically tested. All right, mate, we'll let you go. Supreme Dominator, what do you think in the Kilmore Cup?
Oh, look, it's a great race, isn't it? The draw's not too bad. Probably could have drawn a little bit better, but he'll run a good race wherever he lobs and whatever happens. But it's a bit of a lottery, that one.
No, James, thank you. Congratulations, mate. G said perfect. So thank you, mate. The show's about interaction and people getting involved. So thank you very much. And I am sure Mum was in tears when you got home. She probably was still crying right now, mate. So which is probably a bit funny, actually. But well done to you. And congratulations. Really should be proud of what you've been able to achieve so far, mate. So thank you for joining me.
No worries, Paulie. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it.
James Herbertson there, and giving me his time, which is terrific, and I really do appreciate it. On Loose Lines, that's what I want to try and do. Change it up. We've got sponsors to look after, comps and things to advertise and promote. There's no worries there at all, but got to get back to the people. Gerard Moloney was on in regards to the Stallion Tender, promoting that as well. And then Daniel, I miss having Daniel, and I thought we might have been able to get him on at the end of the show tonight after he'd finished calling, and then they turned around and they're having a late night at the trot races. So there's a fair bit going on. We need to tick off on a few things. Don't forget my friends at Woodlands. As I said, they're celebrating 30 years in the breeding industry, so I really do appreciate their support that they give me, and also their time. They do a great job for me. And don't forget that there's, I said there before, 8 of the 11 in the elimination at the Jugette bred by Woodlands horses. We go back here. We've got Harassed Trotters. Oh, I've got to do it this way. Things aren't quite smooth. I might have done a reset, and I know my man is watching me. Don't ever do an upgrade without knowing the full consequences of everything that does happen. You can have issues. So, yeah, I've got my sound out working, but not 100%. So I do quite a few little issues if my man's listening. So it's okay. Right, on a streak for Harassed Trotters. He arrives on the 7th of October, and he'll be at Cobbity Farm. So make sure you get there and check him out. The handsome son there. The full staying roster, if you like, for Harassed Trotters are there. Don't forget Classic Connection on Solitaire for my New Zealand counterparts, Used to Me and On a Streak, all chilled, and the rest of those are frozen. We've also got the race series there with Cobbity Farms. Go to harassedtrotters.com and cobbityequine.com for that. But don't forget this, the competition. One of four Harassed Trotters stay in services on a streak, Classic Connection, on Solitaire, Used to Me, or Tomoko. There's actually, that's a bit strange, the way that reads. I'm not 100% sure how that works. Anyway, you get the opportunity. There are terms and conditions, but make sure you go to harassedtrotters.com to enter. It's a great little competition. Gets people involved, sharing. It's smart. Like and share their stuff on Facebook is pretty simple way to do it. I think that I am going to be doing that live on Victoria Cup night. It'll be on my what's the page? My YouTube page, maybe my Facebook page as well. So yeah, I do appreciate it. Just very quickly, I do appreciate everyone getting involved with the comments. I put the comments up on the screen on purpose because I jokingly say it's a #1 online harness racing talkback show. I want people to be able to talk, get in there, find out things there before. Where was it? I was just trying to find the name of that horse actually. Anya Tom, I think its name was. I've just lost Michael. Michael's put a lot of things in here. Long Tom, a 3-year-old trotter trotting 153. So we have that as well. I have to get to. Philip Wood. Well, we'll get to you, Philip. Just give me 1 sec. The Trump Bloodstock, 2-year-old trot and pace, of course, breed to any of the Trump Bloodstock horses, and you can go into, you're eligible for the $50,000 2-year-old trot, $50,000 2-year-old pace, Dancing Lou, Catwash, Pet Rock, and Luck Be With You. And Luck Be With You is up the back. The hats. I've got to do something better with the hats. They need to change up a little bit going forward. South Australian, the Silver Solver, March 26 at the Magic Millions Complex. Entries are $323, including cataloguing. Commission is only 7% on horses sold, and it works out to be the equivalent of a Vicbred bonus. Make sure you go to ring Gary Newton 0402 978 524. Can't believe where I've done that. That's okay. I can't. Yes, I can. 978 424. So give Gary Newton a call for the Silver Solver. Philip Wood said last Saturday night in Adelaide, 6 horses came from the southeast or born here on a big night for the Drivers' Championship. So that's great. So good to see that. Love that sorts of promotion, people getting out there and being passionate. And we need South Australia. Don't care what anyone says about South Australian racing, strong, weak, anything. We need it. The industry needs it, because if we don't have South Australian harness racing, the industry is poorer for it. So we need to make sure that we can get people involved and continue to have South Australian harness racing part of the landscape of harness racing, both here in Australia and also in New Zealand. And it's another place that we need to get by is with New Zealand as well. That was right. It was a Little Brown Jug. Michael House, President Bray, he's tuned out. He's definitely tuned out, that's for sure. I haven't even been looking to see who is actually tuned in to the show, whether there's many or not. But I do appreciate everyone's input as well. Nutrien, that ain't going to work because I reckon that's underneath that. So another error there. But anyway, that's okay. Nutrien standardbred yearling sales will be on the 4th and 5th of March, 11th and 12th in Queensland, and also the Melbourne on the 1st and 2nd of April. So it's going to be a lot of fun there. For more information, go to nutrienequine.com.au. Contact Emio or Mark Barton at nutrienequine.com.au. Plenty going on there, as including the Bathurst Race Series. And these nominations are still open until the 23rd of November. If you've got a yearling and you're thinking about selling it, get in touch with the Bathurst Harness Racing Club or Emio Mark Barton on nutrienequine.com.au. And I know Cam Bray will say we were treated unbelievably at Bathurst. It was just terrific the way they looked after us, and really can't thank those guys enough. Horseland Bendigo, the reason I give Horseland Bendigo a plug is because they look after my daughter unbelievably well. Kylie Wallace, or Kylie Balaz, as she is now known, but Kylie Wallace, a lot of people on both sides of the ditch will know her. She spent a lot of time in New Zealand, looked after Rita Burnett and Monty Burnett, but and again, look after us, and especially my daughter, so I really do appreciate that. The Follow the Foals, plenty of foals on the ground. It's still cold, it's still wet, so it's not ideal timing for them. Make sure you go to favouritefoals.com.au, put the S on the end, favouritefoals.com.au, to go into the chance to win a $3,000 travel voucher, all thanks to my great sponsors in, Barristock, and going from there. Haven't changed the hat. I'll look after the Kiwis. We'll see how many of the Kiwis are watching, and go from there. I think I've gone through, no, we've still got a couple of other. It's one that Daz Aiken hasn't rang me and told me off. The safety specialist, 0400 309 902 for all your clothing, apparel and promotional use. Make sure you get in touch with Darren Aiken, 0400 309 902. Tell him I sent him. It'd be nice if someone watched this and then rings him and says that we got it through there. So yeah, please make sure you get in touch with that. And Lower Long Farms, I'm pretty sure that's my whole dance card done. Don't forget their $100,000 bonus if any horse by Pastor Stephen, Raging Bull, Yankee Rockstar, Poster Boy and Lather Up, who stands at Woodland Stud as well, win the Vic Bred, and there is 4 chances of that. 2-year-old trotting boys and girls, pacing boys and girls for the 2-year-olds. Any of those horses win that in the 2026 season, they win a $100,000 bonus. No more to pay, nothing extra. That's it. You just go there and you get involved. I reckon that's about it. I'm not going to go. I would like to highlight the Kilmore meeting. I think it's a ripper. It is a ripper meeting. I might be able to just trying to work out what I've got going on here. So just give me 1 second, because I'll get into trouble if I put something up that I'm not meant to. But I just wouldn't mind just quickly going through that card at Kilmore on Friday night. It is a ripper card. Actually, I'm going to do one other thing first. I'm going to go back here. I want to show you something that is starting to creep up on us, and I think unless a lot of people actually start to have a look, they may get a shock. But the Victorian people starting to go to Wagga on a Friday. Cobram race tomorrow. I think there's 4 or 5 3-horse fields. We've already got race 1. We've got Connor Crook already going across. He's relocated now to Shepparton, so he has made his way across there. No one there in race 2. Race 3, we've got Russell Jack. Alan Bartley is actually over that side, so Russell Jack is the only one there. I believe there's some more. Maybe they've scratched. Craig Turnbull has pulled it. He's there as well. Craig continually does it. They actually went to Wagga last week and then made the trip to Shepparton that night as well. Russell Jack there, Mark Buckingham, Mark Thompson successfully made the trip there last week. Lee Sutton takes the reins on that horse there. Just trying to go through and see if there's any Victorians as I go through. No, none in that race. So there's a couple. There was 5 horses nominated from Charlton, actually, were nominated to go there. That's why I wanted to make a point of it. Either they didn't get in or they pulled them out at the last minute. And Craig Turnbull's got some going in as well. Full fields. Well done to Wagga. Well done to Greg Gangle and what they're doing there. But, worrying thing for Victoria and a lot of Victorians. They're going across there. This is the Kilmore Cup meeting. First race is at 5:35 Friday night. Don't forget, so it's a Metro meeting. Friday night, 5:35. Grand final eve here in Victoria. A couple of nice $20,000 races on the cards there. Then we start getting into a couple of these better races here. The Buds and Branches Florist 3-year-old trot. He's all muscle for Emma Stewart. 2 starts, 1 win, 1 second. Was probably a little bit average when it got beat. RC Phoenix, Courmier for Anton Golino and Nathan Jack. Harry Stamper, Joe Pace. He's got 2 runners in for the night. I think he's only got 2. He may have 3. James Herbertson combined. Courage Stride for Chris Lang and Plymouth Chubb. They're just going terrific and constant for Anne-Marie Conroy. 3 really, really up-and-coming horses and Courmier as well. So a really nice field, but 3 standouts there for mine in Harry Stamper, Courage Stride and Plymouth Chubb. And I don't think it'll be the last time those 3 are doing battle, and it's going to be exciting to see and continue to see. The Reg Withers, Captain Ravishing, Bet on a Tiger, won last start at Melton. Captain Buzz is beautifully bred. Kaflaji, Simply Sam won, although just at Shepparton the other night, but that's what he does by American Ideal, and a horse that I love, and I reckon he's over there in Interest 3. Myself and Marie have McCheddar in it. We hope he goes good. We're just testing the waters to see how he does go. We like the horse. He has plenty of speed. The great run of races, isn't it? The Kilmore Trotters Cup Group 2 event, and there's some lovely horses there. Just Believe was terrific last start. Ultimate Stride galloped, which was a little bit unlike him. But, I think Just Believe all cashed up. They're probably going to fight that out again. Interesting little race. Just trying to see. Yeah, Just Believe is the favourite. And then the Kilmore Pacing Cup, and, it's not as good as what it was back in the day. It's a terrific field. Torrid Saint, Max Delight, Max Shard, Supreme Dominator, Rock and Roll Do, New Zealanders, Be Aware, Standing Start, qualified Monday night, I think it was, at Geelong. Beyond Delight, Crime Rider, Willie Go West, Like a Wildfire, Tango Tara, Honolulu Bay, Mighty Flying Art, and Bulletproof Boy. For my Kiwi counterparts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 13, albeit one of those is an emergency. So half the field is made up of Kiwis there. So good little race on the cards there, and a couple of nice races. We do have Lucinda Mack in the last at 10:39. I won't be there for that. Hopefully she goes good for the boss. I hope so, that's for sure, because happy wife, happy life. It's a pretty comfortable saying, that's for sure. So all right, bit of a wrap for the show. I'm not going to go through winners and losers because it's a long show. That's what I want to do it though. Fun. Look after my sponsors. That's what Campbell's Comments does. I think I do a good job of that. I like to promote the industry, but I also like to promote the little stories and get them out there. And I think James Herbertson was a terrific effort. So thank you for everyone that's tuned in. This show will, it'll be like my trotting show. Most weeks will be on now. It'll evolve. When I get over to New Zealand very shortly, it'll be over there in New Zealand. We might even have a couple of them. We'll just see what the who's there and who's not there. But thank you for everyone for tuning in and getting their input. I really do appreciate it, and look forward to catching up with everyone all next week as well, next Wednesday night, so in a week's time. I don't have any Trots Vision commitments. I am doing some stuff with the Pony Trotters at Kilmore, but that'll be about it. So thank you for everyone that's tuned in, and we'll catch you all next week. .G, very good. Good night all. No more sheep, Dot. With the sheep, we've just got to keep these sheep out of this show. But thank you, Dot, and everyone else for getting involved, and Michael House for that incredible information about a horse trotting 153 on a half-mile track. Is unbelievable. So thank you. Catch us all next week.